What up, IDS Mob? HarryWilmington here. And today, I want to talk to you about the conversation you need to have with women the next time that they complain about having to be submissive. All right? And this is especially for you guys that are looking for a woman that's going to be submissive to you because you're thinking, hey, if she wants me to be the leader of the relationship, she needs to be submissive to my leadership. And I know a lot of women take that oppressively, like, oh, submit. That means I got to be under a man. I got to listen to him and do what he wants me to do and blah, blah, blah. I recently saw this TikTok that I want to share with you guys that I had not considered before, but this woman brings up an excellent point about submission. So let's go ahead and play this TikTok.
But when I think about it, men are a lot more submissive than women, actually, because they just don't give as much pushback. They accept our alternate realities. They go with us to Target. They go with us to Walmart. They go up and down every single aisle. Yeah, they might huff and puff, but they don't say anything. They try new recipes that they don't like necessarily. Sometimes they do. They dance on TikTok with us. They, you know what I'm saying? They're just a little. They don't give as much pushback as we do. They take our new definitions. They go through our eras. They like all these different hairstyles, and when you think about it, but I don't know. I don't know why it's a trigger word, because it seems like it's a trigger word to the group of people who don't even do it.
So that's interesting, right? Like, I don't think either sex has really considered the fact that men in relationships already do a lot of submitting. You know, a woman says, hey, I need this thing fixed. I need this light bulb changed. Hey, can you do this certain chore around the house, whatever. And most men, in wanting to make their woman happy, as you probably do, will usually just do those things oftentimes without thought or question. Just like, hey, she wants it done. I want to appease her, so I'm going to do it. That is a form of submission because you don't have to do that thing. She could just hire somebody. But the fact that you're willing to do that so openly means that you're already doing your part on a submission scale. But she also mentioned the fact that submission for women is a trigger word, which is understandable given the historical facts about submission, whereby in the past, when people talked about women submitting, it was in ways that was like, you know, not that was it could be misogynistic in nature, you know. But I think in terms of, you know, people go to the Bible to talk about submission, which is fine. If you're religious or not, that's up to you, whatever. But realistically, in a relationship whereby you as the man are looking to be the one that's supposed to be leading it, it's going to be very difficult to be with a partner that is going to fight you on having to submit. And I get so tired of seeing these videos where it's like women talk about, well, I don't, you know, if we're both working, I don't want to have to cook for my man, or why should I be the one to only clean the house and blah, blah, this and that. And I don't think women always take into account the fact that men are already doing so much for them, oftentimes without them even realizing it. I remember there was a story I read a few years ago about some woman that had gotten divorced. She left her husband and cheated on him or whatever, this and that, and thought that he was just like the most boring guy or whatever. And then come to find out, like, so, you know, they get divorced and he's no longer at the house. And then she realizes that, like, dishes start piling up. The trash starts piling up. When things are breaking down, all of a sudden, they're not being fixed. The grass is starting to grow, and nobody's, like, helping her mow it. And so she started to realize, like, oh, crap, he was doing all this stuff for me that I just took for granted. But women won't see that as submission. They'll see that as like, well, that's just being a man and that's his job. And, you know, they'll take it for granted sometimes that a guy's even doing all this stuff because we of our own accord will typically just do stuff without bragging about it, without having to come to and say, hey, just so you know, I did this thing, blah, 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 because I wanted to appease you. And ultimately, there's nothing wrong with trying to appease your mate. I think women sometimes give this thing of like, well, if I'm giving too much of myself, if I'm appeasing them too much, there's a chance I'll get taken advantage of. Hopefully, you're able to catch that kind of guy doing those kind of things when you're in the dating phase of the relationship, so that way you won't get married to that person that's treating you that same way. But to the women watching this, submission is not a bad thing. It's you being a helpmate. It's you being with a guy, recognizing that there's going to be some blind spots that he has that you can fill in, or there's just going to be things that you do better than him that you can take off his plate. And to the guys out there, you need to find a woman that is going to be okay with the idea of submitting to you. Because again, you already know, going into a relationship, if you're a guy that really cares about the woman you're with, you're going to be bending over backwards to do tons of things for her that you may not even get credit for, or that she might not even notice, but that you know is your way in some ways of submitting to her. And you're not doing it in a way that makes you look weak or anything like that, but realistically, when you're doing things for a woman, or you're, having to alter yourself in some way to make sure that it's going to be beneficial for the relationship, that is a form of submission. So if you're doing your part, and you're going up against these women who are trying to argue, I'm not going to submit to a man, and well, you can't tell me what to do, and we should both be able to have a 50-50 partnership, and I should be able to wear the pants sometime. That is a woman you're going to be fighting tooth and nail with all the time. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it is not worth your time to be with a woman that doesn't want to submit, has a problem with the idea of submission, and is going to try to do everything she can to prove to you why she's independent and can stand on her own and shouldn't have to submit to any man, all right? And here's the interesting part, is that there are plenty of women out there that actually like, look, I will submit. Like, I don't want to make plans. I don't want to have to do all the thinking for this relationship. Like, please, please, please come in and steer this ship the right way. Now, if you're finding women like that, make sure you're a person that is comfortable with being able to lead the relationship, with being able to make decisions without always having to get her input. And I know those are things that can make guys anxious and worrisome. This is why I have a whole program coming out on November 1st called the Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy, because it talks about stuff like this, about how you can learn to lead without being so forceful, but doing it in a way that a woman will actually trust your leadership and want to bond with you. Amongst the many other things you can learn in the program about how to attract women, how to keep them, what kind of dates to take them on, conflict resolution type things. Like, this is literally like the Netflix of dating advice in terms of you being able to go to the site, you can click on audios, videos, and PDFs that are all designed to help give you information and help in these various areas of dating that'll help you, okay? But ultimately, guys, find a woman that's going to be okay with the idea of submitting to you, because as this woman pointed out, we do it all the time in our relationships, and you don't hear us complaining. All right. Anyway, for more of these shows, go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. Also, like I said, go to the website, join the waitlist now for the Introvert Dating Success Academy, which is opening on November 1st. When you join the waitlist, you'll get this free PDF called the Girlfriend Roadmap Checklist, which is a 10-point checklist on how to go from meeting a girl and dating her to getting into a relationship in a span of 3 months or less. If that's something that interests you, then definitely sign up for the waitlist today. Also, if you need one-on-one coaching, go to the website, click on the coaching tab. And if you want to send a monetary thank you, click on one of the links below, or go to the website and click on the tip jar tab. All support is greatly appreciated. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.